Right, Arnold Schwarzenegger says Netflix doesn't know anything about a live-action adaptation of Conan the Barbarian. Maybe the owner of Conan begs to differ. But alright, let's dive into it today. Hit subscribe if you're new here, guys. Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger's on a bit of an apology tour at the moment, because obviously during, Corona and all the vaccines and things, he basically said, well, he did, literally, the words were, screw your freedom. He doesn't care about your freedoms and things like that, lockdowns, etc. The words were literally, screw your freedoms. Which, considering where he came from, travelled to the States and lived in the States, that's quite a bizarre thing to say. You'd think he would value freedom much more, but never mind. Anyway, actor Arnold Schwarzenegger played Conan in 1982's Conan the Barbarian and reprised the role in 1984's Conan the Destroyer. Says when he's asked Netflix about a new live-action Conan adaptation, they don't know anything about it. I mean, who are you asking there, mate? Because apparently they do. Now, it's unfortunate that I've got to cover it in this manner. The last video I did on Arnold Schwarzenegger was all about Terminator. And I like Arnold, bodybuilding, etc. He's a bit of an. He's a true icon. But some of these things are not necessarily political in the sense of left and right, but they're politically motivated in terms of getting him roles. And some of the stuff he's saying is just, it's just incorrect. It's just wrong. And it's trying to get points, basically. This is his apology tour, and he's trying to get some points, curry favour with people. And it's just unfortunate, So Schwarzenegger spoke to The Hollywood Reporter, where he discussed the future of the Terminator franchise, his relationship with his father, his divorce, a possible triplets film with Danny DeVito, and more. And he also discussed a possible third Conan film, The Legend of Conan, telling the outlet, it's been pending for the last 10 years. Frederick Malmberg owns the rights. He comes to me and he says, oh, I have a deal with Netflix. And when we ask Netflix, they don't know anything about it. It's one of those crazy things. I hope he figures it out. This is the guy who owns the rights. Great article. We spent 3 years with Netflix and talked to them about Arnold several times. We're now working with a major filmmaker who is great and a true Conan fan. We will share more when I can. By Crom. So, the guy who owns the rights versus the guy that wants a job. I'm going to go with the guy who owns the rights. Especially when the guy who wants a job is throwing massive shade on the guy who owns the rights. So as for how he would make the film, if it does get the green light, Schwarzenegger said, I think you do it like Unforgiven, where you play the age. There's a great script out there that John Milius wrote, and others have written one. The story is there, there are directors who want to do it, but Frederick Malmberg has the rights, and this is the shade. And until he sells the rights for 1 or 2 movies, or for the franchise, there's nothing you can do about it. Mate, come on. He doesn't need to sell the rights. You can't sit there and just be like, yeah, he should sell the rights. No. You can't say that. Especially when this is him vying for a job. You can't say that, Arnold. Come on, man. So Malmberg's Cabinet Group was acquired by Funcom and housed in their Heroic Signatures subsidiary. Back in 2021, Malmberg stayed on as president of Heroic Signatures following the acquisition. He explained why he sold to Funcom, saying, we took Cabinet Group as far as we could as an independent studio, but in order to achieve further growth, we were in need of bigger financial investment and infrastructure. So at the time of the acquisition, Funcom CEO Rui Kasei indicated they were developing a video game based on a number of Robert E. Howard characters. Kasei detailed, we are currently overseeing the development of an unannounced game which will combine many of the characters in the Robert E. Howard universe. And if you can combine Funcom's knowledge of games with Heroic Signature's knowledge of the TV entertainment, publishing and licensing industries, it makes us perfectly placed to take this venture to the next level. It's exciting times ahead for us and for fans of the IPs. So before the acquisition, the Conan the Barbarian TV series was announced back in 2018, with Deadline reporting that the series would stream on Prime Video and would be helmed by Ryan Condal, Miguel Sapochnik, and executive produced by Warren Littlefield. The original report detailed that the series would retell Conan's origins as he is driven out of his tribal homelands and wanders the mysterious and treacherous world of civilization, where he searches for purpose in a place that rejects him as a mindless savage. Now, Malmberg's done some really good stuff with the rights, actually. He's done some really good stuff with the rights. You know, in 2021, Malmberg provided an update on the live-action development of the series, telling Midnight's Edge with Conan, "I'm happy to say that we are writing. We are in development, which means we basically work with a writer who has written the first draft of the pilot of the series and then a season overview. So we're working together with the Netflix team. Obviously with COVID, it's been a little tricky because everybody's working from home. It's all Zoom conferences and very difficult to get everyone aligned. So things are progressing. But as always, you want them to progress faster than they do. But that's the world they live in. But things are going well. But they've maneuvered the Conan comics. Recently, Malmberg provided an update to friends of the channel Midnight's Edge, telling the channel's creator Andrew, misspell. I wish I could tell you. I can't tell you right now. I hope that we will actually be able to tell the world about our plans this summer. And as you can understand, it's a space which it is has to be done right. We failed the last time around. I think it's fair to say, and this time we don't want to repeat that. Better to be safe than sorry and not spill the beans until it's ready to be spent. Look, actors are always the last to know about any project, and saying that Malmberg needs to sell the rights, come on, man. Come on. They've done well. Like, they've maneuvered Conan away from, I think it was Marvel for a while. Like, they've got the comics back on track. I think a lot of this stuff is good and positive that they're doing. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, I personally, I don't want to see him back as Conan. I don't think he's just aged out of the role, you know, and that sucks to say, but unfortunately, you know, we all meet our maker at a certain point, and I think he's just aged out of the role. Again, it's unfortunate, but I don't want to see him back. That'd be awful, like a geriatric Conan. Before, having a King Conan, that could have worked, but even still now, like 70 plus, he really has aged out of the role. And it's not like what you can do with Michael Keaton in the Batsuit, which they're going to have in The Flash. Lots of CGI. Like, he's not moving around that quickly. There's no way. All of that is CGI in that trailer. And then subsequently in the film as well. You just can't do that with a Conan film. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't make any sense. It would look ridiculous as well. So a shame. But Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't going to know about this. The actors are always the last to know. And, I mean, the rights holder, Frederick Malmberg, is more than happy to be like, yeah, that was a great article. But we did spend 3 years with Netflix and talked to them about Arnold several times. We're now working with a major filmmaker who's great and a true Conan fan. We will share more when I can by Crom. So, yeah. A shame, but let me know what you think down below. I'm sure people will disagree because they love Arnold. And I get that. You know, I get it, but you know, if you want him to appear and stuff, it's probably best that he stops throwing shade at the rights holders. Let's be honest. And realistically, he would be the last to know. Cheers, guys. Take care.